passenger. It's nearly 2 a.m., and the road stretches before me, a thin, pale line winding through the dark. The world out here is quiet. No streetlights, no houses, only my headlights slicing through a wall of darkness. Driving this stretch of highway at night feels like slipping between worlds, as if this road wasn't meant for daylight or people at all. And that's fine by me. I drive on nights like these, chasing the quiet. The emptiness has a way of sorting things out, keeping the noise in my mind in check. Lately, I can barely stand to be around anyone. Out here, it's just me, the open road, and the black void beyond my windows. Every mile that passes brings a strange peace, like I'm leaving everything behind. But tonight is different. There's something raw in the air, electric, my pulse tapping faster, hands clenching a little tighter around the wheel. The headlights flicker for a second, plunging me into darkness before they flare back to life. Just nerves, I tell myself, but the sensation lingers, crawling under my skin like an itch I can't scratch. Then I see him, a figure on the side of the road, illuminated briefly in the headlights. I barely have time to react before I'm right next to him. His face is half obscured by the shadow of his raised arm, his thumb pointed up the road. I keep my eyes forward, foot hovering over the gas, certain I'll drive on. But I slow down, my hand moving to the gear shift as if on its own. My pulse kicks up again, and I take a deep breath. It's just a hitchhiker, a guy who needs a lift. Maybe he broke down somewhere, or maybe he's just passing through. I've given rides before, nothing unusual, but part of me, the part that's learned to be cautious, to keep my head down and not get involved, wants to keep going. After all, he could be anyone. Then again, so could I. The man opens the door and slides into the passenger seat without a word. I catch a glimpse of his face. Sunken eyes, skin pale and stretched over his cheekbones, a faint scar running down his chin. His jacket is worn, frayed at the edges, a tear at one shoulder revealing a flash of pale skin. He nods a silent thanks, pulling the door shut with a soft click. I let the silence hang between us for a few beats before easing the car back onto the road. The quiet stretches on, thick and uncomfortable. I keep my eyes on the pavement, glancing over at him only once. There's something unsettling about his stillness, the way he seems to sink into the shadows, almost disappearing in the dim light of the dashboard. A shiver creeps down my spine, and I grip the wheel a little tighter. Maybe I should say something, break the tension, but I hesitate, wondering if it would be better to let him be. The last thing I need is to invite trouble. "You from around here?" I ask finally, my voice low, as if speaking too loudly might shatter something fragile in the air between us. He shakes his head, staring out the window.
"No, just trying to get away from some things."
I nod, like I understand. His answer lingers, vague and evasive, but I let it go. Still, something about his tone unsettles me, a quiet desperation I can't ignore. Silence settles over us again, and I find myself hyper-aware of every sound. The hum of the engine, the faint rustling of his jacket as he shifts. My mind starts racing, filling in blanks where none exist. Is he running from something, someone, or looking for something out here in the dark?
"Thanks for picking me up,"
he mutters after a while, his voice barely a whisper.
"Not everyone stops."
I shrug. Just seemed like the right thing to do. He laughs, a low, humorless sound that chills me.
"The right thing,"
he repeats, like he's never heard the phrase before. His gaze meets mine, shadowed and unreadable. Something in his stare makes my skin prickle, a weight that's hard to place. It feels like he's testing me, trying to see if I'll flinch. The car rolls on, the road narrowing as the trees press in on either side. I feel trapped, boxed in by the forest, the night, the stranger beside me. A strange sense of anticipation hangs in the air, building with every mile, and I can't shake the feeling that I'm driving towards something, though I don't know what. "Rough night?" I ask, forcing my voice to sound casual. He hesitates, fingers twitching slightly in his lap.
"You could say that,"
he replies, tone sharp, almost bitter.
"I've had a lot of rough nights lately."
I nod, not sure what to say. Part of me wants to press him for details, to unravel the mystery of this stranger who appeared out of nowhere. But another part of me, a part I don't entirely understand, is content to let the silence grow. There's a strange satisfaction in not knowing, a thrill in the unknown that keeps my nerves on edge.
"You ever felt like you shouldn't do something, and then went and did it?"
he asks, voice low again, like a whisper. The question catches me off guard, my throat dry. Sometimes I murmur, not sure what he's getting at. He nods, staring out the window again.
"Yeah, me too. I got that feeling tonight."
The question hangs in the air between us, unsettling in its simplicity. My fingers tighten around the wheel. I've done things I shouldn't have, things I told myself I wouldn't do again. And yet here I am, out on the road in the dead of night with this stranger beside me. The question gnaws at me, sparking a fire in the silence, threatening to burn through the calm I've worked so hard to keep. He shifts in his seat, watching me, maybe hoping for an answer, but I don't say anything. I keep driving, tension coiling between us thick and palpable. I can feel his gaze on me, sizing me up, like he's reading thoughts I keep buried just beneath the surface. I almost want to laugh. "Yeah," I finally say, barely above a whisper, the road stretching out endlessly before us. "I know exactly what you mean." His eyes flick back to the window, settling into silence. Maybe now, he thinks, his question wasn't so strange after all. The car hums quietly, carrying us deeper into the night, a familiar satisfaction settling in my chest, calm and steady, as I let the silence stretch on. But he'll figure it out soon enough. They always do, just before the end. Thanks for joining us on tonight's journey down that dark, desolate highway. Sometimes the scariest moments are hidden in the quiet, lingering just out of sight. If the passenger left you with a chill, let us know in the comments whether you have ever done something you knew you shouldn't have. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next tale, delivered fresh every week, right from the vault. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time, stay haunted.